Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Georg Mack Plays the Classics. It's 1942 on the NES, and that means we are Super Ace. Capcom has now thrown its hat into the ring, releasing all three NES titles in November 1986. 1942 is a vertical scrolling shoot-'em-up that was popular in arcades. Of course, in these early days, publishers thought, let's get it ported to the home consoles, and so they did. 1942 is an okay representation of the arcade classic. The graphics are much worse, the sprite blinking is bad with so many objects on screen at once. The game feels slow and choppy. I guess I'm not giving it a very glowing review, eh? The Super Ace pilots a Lockheed P-38 Lightning over the Pacific Theater of Operations during World War II. The goal is to get through 32 stages where you are rewarded with congratulations typed across the screen before being kicked to the title. How satisfying. You shoot with the B button and are able to loop the loop with the A button, which temporarily removes you from the playing field, allowing you to escape a particularly hairy situation. Your targets are small gray planes that fly from top to bottom, sometimes looping around and giving a second go at you. Small green planes that fly horizontally, sometimes making several passes. Medium-sized gray and green planes fly up from the bottom of the screen, taking multiple hits and give bonus points when destroyed. If they make it to the top, they're gone. There are large planes that fly up from the bottom, and if they make it to the top, stick around and shoot at you. There are also yellow and red planes that fly in specific formations that drop power-ups when they are destroyed. There are 6 different formations, and each gives you a specific power-up. One gives you an extra set of machine guns, another kills all enemies on screen, another gives Super Ace extra planes for his formation, 2 give bonus points, and the last gives an extra loop-the-loop. You're capped at 3 loop-the-loops and seem to earn one at the end of each round. I didn't find them all that useful, so I'm not 100% sure on those mechanics. Levels fly over ocean and islands. A seemingly never-ending barrage of enemies fly toward you. If the Super Ace had actually existed, Japan would have lost all their resources for war very quickly. I blew up thousands of planes in my playthrough that went 16 levels. After every several levels, you face a huge boss plane that ends up being a pushover once you realize you can avoid all his shots by flying behind his right wing and killing him. When it comes to grading 1942 on NES, graphics get a 1.0, a lot of gray, green in enemies and backgrounds, and blue water. Very little detail. Sound gets a 0. Who thought a high-pitched march was a good idea for background music? Not someone in their right mind, that's for sure. Gameplay gets a 1.0. All you can do is move around and shoot. The loop-loop maneuver isn't very satisfying. Difficulty gets a 3.0. Avoid enemies and get a 1-up every 80,000 points. That's fair to me. Fun factor's a 1.0. Not as good of a shoot-'em-up as Sega has given me so far. Overall grade, 1942 gets a 1.2 and earns a D. It's a subpar arcade port that offers little in the way of fun. That's going to do it for me today. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to Head Drop Productions on YouTube so you can be here each and every day because it is your destiny.